語形変化です。はい、皆さん、こんにちは。今日の授業は日本語の動詞の語形変化です。日本語で基本なレベルは、ます形と辞書形と定形と他形と内形があります。あとは、している形も紹介します。はい、では、今度間違いのないように、はい、聞いてください。Okay, so for today's lesson, I will introduce to you the basic level or 5 types of Japanese verb conjugations in the basic level. Okay, under basic level, there are five types. Okay, so it's the Jisho form, which is called the dictionary form. Okay, Jisho is dictionary, so that's why it's called Jisho form. And then the maske or the mas form, which is introduced to you earlier or in the last slide, okay, last week. And then the te, okay, it's the te form. Te form is usually used when you are using the kudasai or the please na word. Okay, so though they te form or the teke, they have many uses, but just for an example, okay, just an example usage of the teke, it's the using the word kudasai. Okay, and the next is the ta-ke. Ta-ke is, or the ta form is used when you use the the past positive or even the negative, yeah, past, as long as it is past tense, okay, and it is in the plain style form, okay, past tense plain style form, you will use the ta-ke or the ta form. And then the nai form is the negative form, the present negative form under plain style. Okay, so, and then the shiteiru is like the plain style of the shiteimasu. What do you call the shiteimasu? The ing form in English. Okay, so it's the verb and ing form of a Nihongo verb, the shiteiru ke or the shiteiru form. Now, learning to convert, okay, from mas form to these forms, okay, learning to convert all of the mas forms of the Nihongo verbs to these forms, you will now be able to use verbs in different situations, different usage of those verbs. Kasi Nihongo verbs is not always mas form. Okay, so Nihongo verbs can be used as under the jishu form, under the te form, ta form, the nai form, and the shiteiru form. It can be in the middle of a sentence. Okay, so to be familiarized and not to, what do you call this? Machigai nai yoni, not to be wrong or to correct or to use correctly those forms, please listen very carefully, okay? Because there are many, okay? There are many exemptions or what they call this, rules in converting those Nihongo verbs. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so as we know that Nihongo verbs has this group, the 3 groups, right? The group 1, the group 2, and the group 3. And from the last presentation last week, I presented to you how to identify or how to classify those Nihongo verbs. Okay, so if you don't know it yet, please go back sa last slide and then follow this next presentation para at least hindi kayo malito, para hindi kayo ma-confuse. Okay? So, first, tapos na tayo sa maske. Okay? We finished the maske. It's the mass form of the Nihongo verb, like the abimas, tabemas, kirimas, diba? Okay, it's the mass form. It's the root word and then the mass form. Okay, so maske or maske yan, and or the mass form. Okay. So tapos na tayo dyan for the group 1, group 2, and group 3. Okay, we finished that. So let's go to Jishu form. Now, Jishu form. How to convert the mass form to the Jishu form. It's the dictionary form. Okay. Hi. In converting the mass form of a Nihongo verb to Jishu-kei or the dictionary form, of course, again, you should know how to identify if this is a group 1, group 2, and group 3 verb. Okay? So, first, for group 1 verbs. Okay, so as we know, group 1 verbs, these are mass verbs or the mass form verbs that the root word ends in E sound. Okay, so this one is root word. Okay, root word ends in E sound. Okay. I-general ko na lang. And then, to convert this into, what you call this, Jishu form, the root word, okay, let's have the rule na lang. Convert, how do you call this? To create Jishu form, create Jishu form. Change the last syllable of the, what do you call this, root word. Okay, change the last syllable of the root word to sound. And to create Jishu form, change the last syllable of the root word to U sound. Ayan. Okay, so that's the rule in creating Jishu form for group 1 verbs. Now, let's have an example para at least makita natin how really to create Jishu-kei. What are group 1 verbs? Let's say, nomimas. Okay, nomimas meaning to drink is a group 1 verb, right? Okay, since the root word is one, the nomi is the root word, so root word is the word, okay, the word before the mass. Okay, for the mass. Yeah, so it's the root word. Okay, and then, so for our example, we have the nomimas. Okay, nomimas. the root word is before mas, which is nomi. Ayan. So, nag-last man siya ng i. Okay? Yung syllable niya is mi, and then that mi is ending in e sound. That's why it is in the group 1 verb. Okay? So, hindi siya special verb, ha? Okay, so, nomimas, meaning to drink, is a group 1 verb. Now, to convert this into jisho form, let's go back to the rule. To create jisho form, yan, change the last syllable of the root word to u sound. Now, the last syllable is mi, right? Now, how to change it to u sound? Okay, so just go back to the M column. Okay, so ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Now, the u sound for the mi is the mu. Okay, so just change the e here. The e here, just change the e here to mu. Okay? So the jisho form now of nomimas is no mu. Now, this is your jisho form of the verb nomimas. Okay? So, ganyan. That's how you convert mas ke of the Nihongo verb to the jisho ke. Okay? Another example. Let's have nomimas, group 1 verb. E sound plus na E sound. Hi. Kaimas. Yan. Kaimas is a group 1 verb, right? Okay, so root word is kai. The root word ends in e sound. That's why it's a group 1 verb. It ends in e sound, but this is not a special verb. That's why it's a group 1 verb. Yan. Meaning ng kaimas is to buy. Okay? So, how to create this into the jishuke? Jishuke of this is, to create jishu form, change the last syllable of the root word to u sound. Now, the root word is kai. Okay? So, under the a column, right? Because the last syllable is e. So, it is under the a column. Now, what's the equivalent u sound of the e sound or the last syllable e? Okay, so it's a, e, u, e, o. Okay, so your e there will become u. Okay, so the jishuke of the verb kaimas is now cow. Okay, so that's how you convert group 1 verbs from their maske to their jishuke. Okay, so if I want to say, or if I want you to convert this maske of the verb to jishuke, that's how you convert it, or that's how you create the jishuke of that verb. Okay, that is for the group 1 verbs. Now, let's go to the group 2 verbs. Okay, so group 2 verbs are, ano nga yung group 2 verbs? These are verbs that the root word ends in e sound. Tama? Plus the special verbs. Okay? So, I introduced you the special verbs last week. That's why you should know na what are those verbs or what are those special verbs that even it ends or even the root word ends in e sound, but it is not considered as group 1 verb, but group 2 verbs. Okay? So, the rule. Okay? So, the rule in creating jishuke of group 2 verbs is okay. So to create create Jishuke, root, paano ba ito? To create Jishuke, root word will be, sorry, nasunod na. As it is, will be as is, tama ba? Will be as it is. And then, plus suffix root. Okay? So, I guess that's the root. Root, I guess it is. Okay, so for group 2 verbs, these are verbs that ends, or the root word ends in e sound. Okay? And then plus the special verbs. Now, to create the Jishuke of these verbs, the root word will be as it is. Okay? So you should not convert the last syllable to the u sound. Okay? So numama na lang. Okay? As is lang yung root word niya. And then just add the suffix root. Okay? So let's have an example. We have what example is tabemas. Okay? Hi. Tabemas is a group 2 verb. Okay? Which means to eat. And why it is in the group 2 verb? Okay? The root word ends in e sound. The root word here is tabe. That's why it ends in e sound. Okay, so since it ends in e sound, it is considered as group 2 verbs. Now, to create its Jishuke, okay, so root word will be as it is. Okay, so numama lang yung tabe plus i-add mo lang yung root. Okay, so the Jishuke of tabemas is tabe root. Okay, so the same sa lahat. Ano pa bang pwede? Oshemas. Yan. The word before mas is the root word, oshe. That's why it ends in e sound. It is in group 2 verbs. Now, oshemas meaning to teach. To change to Jishuke or to create the Jishuke of that, so namama yung root word, then just add the suffix root. Now, the Jishuke of oshemas is osheru. And so that's how you create the Jishuke of group 2 verbs. How about the special verbs? Let's have a Nihongo verb that is a special verb. Dekimasu. Dekimasu. Yes, it's a group 2 verb meaning can. Okay? Now, the Jishuke or the Jishuke rule for group 2 verbs is sunumama ang root word which is deki, and then just add the suffix ru. Now, the Jishuke of dekimasu is dekiru. Okay, so the same siya sa special verbs. Anything special verbs and the root word ends in e will be a group 2 verb, and then you just get the root word and then add the suffix ru. Now you have the Jishuke of the verb or group 2 verbs. Okay? So that's how it is. Now for group 3 verbs. For group 3 verbs, as I can remember, I told you in the last presentation that we have only 3 verbs for that, right? The shimas, kimas, meaning to come, and then the noun o shimas, or let's say en shimas. Okay, so same lang yan. Shimasu meaning to do. Ikimasu is to come. And then this one is do now. Okay, so that are their English equivalents. Now, for group 3 verbs naman, tatlo lang kasi sila, so they are exemptions. Okay, they have, what do you call this? Those 3 verbs are exempted. Tatlo, irregular verbs ang tawag sa kanila. So, yung shimas, okay? So, dapat i-remember nyo lang dito kasi wala silang rule. Okay? So, shimas is, it will become suru for its jishu form. Okay? And then the kimas is kuru. And then for the noun o shimas or the en shimas, that is en o suru or en suru. So those 3 should be remembered. Okay, so that's the jishuke of the group 3 verbs, the irregular verbs. Okay. Okay, so that's how you convert the mass form of the verb to its jishuke. Now, let's go to the jishuke, and then let's go to the te form. Okay, so the te form of a Nihongo verb. Te form. Now, te form. There are also, you should classify group 1 verb, of course. Again, it's very important. You know how to classify verbs. Okay? So for group 1 verbs, if the jishuke or if the jishuke of the verb, this is the rule, ha? If the jishuke of the verb ends in the u sound, the tsu sound, and the ru sound. Okay, so you will replace u. Replace them with the okay, the t form. So for verbs that are if the jishuke of the verbs ends in the u sound, tsu sound, ru sound, the u, tsu, ru will be replaced with the t form. Okay, the double T and then e sound. Okay, so it's t form. Paano ba yan? Okay, nabasa it's a double T and E. Okay, so lagyan lang natin yung okay, this one. So let's have an examples. Example verbs that ends in the u, or the jishuke of the verb ends in u sound. Let's have utao. Okay, utao. Utao meaning to sing. Now, this is the the jishuke of the mas form of the verb utaimasu. So, from utaimasu, naging utaw. And then, to create its te form, since it ends in the u sound, u will be replaced with the t sound. Okay? So, it will become utatte. Yan, yung u sound lang yung papalitan. Okay? Yan, so just change the u sound to t sound. It will become utatte. Okay? Utatte. Okay, so double T. Utatte. Yan. Next, ano pa bang another example? Tsu sound. Tsu sound. Right. Tatsu. Yan. Tatsu is the jishuke of the maske of the verb tachimasu, meaning to stand. Okay? Meaning ito is to stand. Now, tsu will be replaced with the t sound. So the te form of the jishuke tatsu is tate. Okay? So if I say convert this verb into the te sound, then if it is in tatsu, so that's how you create the te form of the verb. Okay? So dapat alam niyo muna yung jishuke niya to create the te form. Okay? Now, ano pang another example dito? Ru. Okay, let's have ru. Ru. What verb next? Ang jishuke. Ru. Ru. Okay. Kiru. Kiru. Okay? Kiru is the jishuke of the maske of the verb kirimasu, meaning cut. Okay? So, the ru will be replaced with the t sound. It will become now kite. Okay? Kite. So, iba yung kite na stamp, tsaka kite na to cut or let's say kite kudasai. Okay? Kite kudasai. It will mean please cut. Okay? So, be careful. Though, difference rin naman sila sa kanji. So, kung makikita mo yun or if you will be familiar to kanji na, you will know if this kite is a stamp or a to cut. Okay? So, that's how you convert the ru. Okay? If the jishuke ends in ru, it will become the te. If it ends in tsu and u, it will become also t. Okay? So these are the examples. Now, if the jishuke of the verbs ends in the mu, nu, okay? So, last siya na po sa nu, ano pa ba? Nu, and the lu. Yeah. Okay? So, replace this with and. Okay? So, instead na ang i-change mo, the na, Okay? Let's have another examples for mu. Example, mu. Ay, kamimasu. Yan, meaning ng kamimasu is chew. Okay? Kamimasu. Then, kamimasu, to chew. Okay, so since it is in the group 1 verb, kamu, so magiging kamu siya. Now we have the example for mu. Mu. So it will become to chew. So, yung kamu, yung mu will be replaced with the ende. It will become kande. Yan, kande. Ano pa? For nu. Nu. Ay, shinimasu. Shinimasu, meaning to die. And it will become shinu. Okay? Shinu, meaning to die. It will become shinde. It can be a curse word also, shinde. Shinde kudasai. Although, or hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihin na shinde kudasai, diba? Please die. O, kung pwede rin. Kung merong gusto magsabi. Meron ding nagsasabi na shine. Yan ay isang curse word na talaga. Okay? Anyways, yan. So that is the example for the nu. Okay? So it will become ende. Okay? So nu will be replaced with ende. Now for bu, sang. Bu. Hai, asobimasu. Asobimasu. It will become asobu, meaning to play. It will become asonde. Yeah. Okay. So, bu will be replaced with the ende. Now, it will become asonde. Okay. Hi. Next, if the root word ends in ku, replace this with ite. Okay. So, hindi na siya tete, but the ite. Let's have example ng ku. Kiku. Kikimasu. Hai. The kikimasu. Ikimasu meaning to listen. To become kiku meaning to listen. So, ku magiging ite and then just mama yung ki and then ite. It will become kite. Okay? Kite. Kite kudasai. Please listen. Yan. Okay? So, those, marami pa sigurong ku, nag-i-end ng ku, but just for an example, this one. Okay? And then, if the root word ends in gu, replace this with inde. Replace this with ide. Okay? Instead na ite, ide ang ilalagay. Example. Yogimasu. Yogimasu meaning to swim. Magiging oyogu. Swim. Now, the gu will be replaced with the ide. It will become oyoide. Okay? Oyoide. Yan. Oyoide kudasai. Please swim. Hai. Ano pa last? Su. Okay, the su. If it ends in su, replace this with the shite. Yan. Okay, so example is ano pa meron shite? Yurusu. Yurushimasu. Yurushimasu. Meaning ng yurushimasu is to forgive. The jishu form of this is yurusu. Meaning forgive. So, yung su magiging shite, it will become yurushite. Okay? So, the te form of yurusu, meaning to forgive, is yurushite. Yurushite. Yan. Okay? So, yun. Then for group 1 verbs, there is one exemption. Okay? Exception siguro. Exception. Okay? Exception for this is the verb ikimas. Okay? Ikimas. The Jishu form of ikimas is iku, meaning to go. Now, it ends in ku, right? So yung ku, it will become iite. Okay? But no, it is not iite. That's why it's an exception. It will become ite. 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 Yan. Ite kudasai. Please go. Hindi siya iite. Not iite. But ite. Okay? So, exemption yan sa group 1 verbs. Now, for group 2 verbs. This one, madali lang. Okay, so for group 2 verbs, since all verbs in this group ends in ru, right? Because meron suffix ru from the jishuke. Okay? Since all verbs ends in ru, just replace ru. Replace ru with te. Okay? So, madali lang, di ba? For group 2 verbs. So, example is taberu. Example is taberu. From tabemas. Another example na lang. Karimas. Okay, so this one is a special verb. Karimas is a group 2 verb. Okay, though it ends in it sound, but no. This one is kariru. So, kariru meaning to borrow. Okay, to borrow. So, just replace ru with te. Sabi dito. So, it will become now karite for the group 2 verbs. Karite, tabete, oshete. Ano pang X sound? Dekite. Yeah, dekite. It's a group 2 verb. Ano pa ba? Kaite. Yun. Okay. Orite. Mite. Yun. Okay, so for group 2 verbs, madali lang. Just replace ru with the te sound. Okay? Next, for group 3 verbs. For group 3 verbs, again, these are irregular verbs. So it will become suru. Okay, the suru, the kuru, and the noun o suru or noun suru. Yan. For suru, the te equivalent for suru is shite. Now for kuru, the equivalent te form of this is kite. Kite. And then for the noun o suru, it will become and o noun o shite or noun shite. Okay. Alright, so kapag dadating na tayo sa group 3 verbs, yun lang tatandaan. Wala na siyang rule. So, just memorize those 3. Okay? So, that is how you will convert te form of Nihongo verbs. Okay? So, next, let's go to the ta form. Ta-ke. Okay? The ta-ke. Again, for ta-ke, there is also, you should also classify group 1, group 2, group 3 verbs. Okay, so for group 1 verbs, the same format doon sa te form. Okay, so for if the jishuke of the verbs ends in u to ru, replace this with the t form. Yeah, ends in u to ru. It will replace this with t. Okay? So, gamitin natin yung mga examples dito. Para hindi tayo maghanap ng ibang examples. Para mas madali. Okay? Now, for the u sound, the utaimasu. Okay? So, instead na no, because utate is for the te form. Now, for the ta form, it will become utata. Okay? Utata. Utata. It can also be used as present, past affirmative. Past affirmative for sentences that is past affirmative under plain style form. So, instead na utaimashita, gagamitin mo utata. Okay? And then for the tachimasu, it will become tatsu. For jishuke, it will become tatta. Tatta. Okay, so instead of tachimashita, you can also use tatta for plain style form. Now for kirimasu, so for kirimasu, kiru, it will become kita. Okay, kita. Instead na kirimashita, you can use kita. Okay, under plain style. Yan. Now, if the jishuke of the verb ends in the mu, nu, and the bu. Okay? Mu, nu, bu. So, for this one, for the mu, kamimasu, kamu, it will become kanda. Okay, this one will be da. Okay, kanda. Dito, ta. Okay. So, for kamu, it will become kanda. Instead na kamimashita, you can use kanda for plain style. For shinu, shinda. Instead na shinimashita, that is shinda. And then for asobi, asobu, asonda. Okay? Asobimashita. Okay? The same. Asonda and asobimashita is the same. Now for the ku. Okay? Ku. Ku, gu, and the su. And under X again, example. Exemption is this one. Okay. For the gu, just replace this with ita. Now, oyog, dito pa pala tayo sa ita. Okay? This one is ita. So, for ku, just replace ku with ita. Example, kiku. That will become kita. Okay? Kita. Kita. Yan. So, instead na kikimashita, kita. Yan, kita. And then for the gu, just replace this with ida. Okay, for oyogimashita, you can use oyoida. Oyoida. Now for su, just replace su with shita. Yan. For yurusu, instead na yurushimashita, yurushita. Okay? Yan. Now, again, under ta, okay, meron din exemption. Instead na yung to go, yung iku na to go, maging ita, iita, it will become ita. Okay? Ita. Ita, hindi iita. Okay? Now, for group 2 verbs. Madali lang din to. For group 2 verbs. For group 2 verbs, since all verbs in this group ends with ru, just replace ru with ta. Okay, ta. Okay, example is taberu. Taberu will become tabeta. Karimasu. Kariru. Kariru will become karita. Okay, so just replace ru with ta, and now you can have the take for group 2 verbs. Okay, now for group 3 verbs. For group 3 verbs naman, for group 3 verbs, so in yung suru, yung kuru, and suru, and suru. Suru will become shita. Shita, and then the kuru will become kita, and then the noun o suru, or the noun suru will become noun o shita, or noun shita. So that's how you create ta form for group 3 verbs. Okay, so almost the same lang sila sa teke, but just replace the te with the ta. Okay? Now, next, let's go to tapos na tayo sa te, ta. Let's go to the nai form. Okay, or the nai k. Now, for the nai k. Nai form. Okay. Nai k is present negative. Yeah, under casual format, casual style. Instead na tabemasen, it will become tabenai. Yeah, okay. Hi. Okay, so for group 1 verbs under nai form, for group 1 verbs, Since the Jishu K, okay, since the Jishu K of verbs ends in U sound, tama? So just change the U sound to A sound, then append nai. And now you can have the nai K of the G1 verbs. Okay, so ano ba? Change the U sound. Change the U sound to A sound. Tama ba yung explanation? To A sound. Yeah. To A sound. Then, append nai. Yan. Okay? And then, merong dalawa kasi dito. Two rules kasi to. Change the U sound to A sound, then append nai. And then, if the root word or if the last syllable ends in if the last syllable has two characters of the if the Jishu K, wait lang ha, if the Jishu K ends in the U sound, change it to A sound, then append nai. Okay. Hi. Okay. So this is the first rule. Now for the second rule, if the Jishu K ends in the U character, change it to wa, then append nai. Right. Okay, so let's have an example for the first rule. If the Jishu K ends in the U sound, change it to A sound, then append nai. Okay, we have an example. Kakimasu, kaku. Okay, kaku. Okay, the Jishu form is kaku, meaning to write. Kakimasu. Okay, so from kakimasu, naging kaku ang Jishu K, meaning to write. And then for the nai form of that, let's have the rule. If the Jishu K ends in the U sound, okay, K-U. Okay, so it ends in the U sound. Change the U sound to A sound, then append nai. Okay, so under the Ku column or the K column, there is a ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Right? So, change ku to ka. And then append the nai. So, kaku The nai form of the verb kaku is kakanai. Okay, kakanai. I will not write, or I will not write. Yeah, I will not write, or I not write. Parang ganun. I will not write. Okay, kakanai. Now, for the second rule naman, if the jishuke ends in the u character. Now, okay, so let's have the example. Cow. Okay, cow meaning to buy. So, the jishuke is cow. It ends in u character. Hindi na siya u sound, but u character. If a verb or the jishuke of the verb ends in the u character, just replace the u character to wa character, then append nai. So, cow will become kawanai, meaning I will not buy. Okay? Cow is to buy. Yan. Okay, so the nai form of the verb cow is kawanai, meaning I will not buy. Yan. So, in the casual form, ito siya ha, casual form. Instead na kaimasen, yeah. Instead na kaimasen, it will become kawanai under the casual form. Okay? So, that's how you create nai form for group 1 verbs. Now, for group 2 verbs naman, by the way, there is an exemption for this, by the way. Exception again. Okay? So, exception here is the verb or the existential verb arimas. Okay? Arimas is a group 2 verb. Okay? So, yung arima, group 1 verb, by the way, sorry. Okay, so arimas, group 1 verb, it will become aru. Okay, for the jishuke niya, aru. But, if you will convert this to its nai form, it will not become aranai. Okay? Not aranai, but nai only. Okay? So that's the exception for group 1 verbs under nai K. Okay? The arimas na verb, meaning, ano kasi meaning ng arimas? To have or to exist. Okay? And then living things. To have or to exist. Living things. Not living, non-living things. Non-living. Okay? So, that's how you will create the nai form of the verb arimas. It will not become aranai, but nai only. Exemption for group 1 verbs. Now, let's go to group 2 verbs. For group 2 verbs, just change the root. Okay, so change the root to nai. Just change the root to nai, and now you have the nai form for group 2 verbs. Example. Okay. Tabe will become tabe nai. Okay? Ano pa? Oriru. Okay, meaning to get off. Vehicle. To get off a vehicle. It will become orinai. Orinai. Yan. Yan. So, it will become orinai. I will not get off. I will not eat. Yan, tabemasu or taberu. Okay? Taberu is I will eat. Tabenai is I will not eat. Yan. Under casual form ito ha. So instead na tabemasen, tabenai yung casual form niya. Okay, so instead na orimasen, ay, orinai. Yan. So I will not get off. Ay. And then for group 2 verbs, tapos na yun, wala exemption. Okay, next for group 3 verbs. For group 3 verbs, under suru, kuru, and the end, o, suru, or the end, suru. Hi. Okay, for suru, it will become shinai. For kuru, it will become onai. So, I will not do. I will not come. Yan. And then for the end, o, shinai. And o, shinai. And shinai. Okay? Tsugi. Tsugi sentence pattern is the dokomo then verb masen. The verb should be in the negative format. Okay? Masen or asen deshita. Because dokomo will mean dokomo, daremo, and nanimo. Okay? This will mean nowhere, nobody, and nothing. Okay, so because the dokomo, daremo, and nanimo will mean nowhere, nobody, nothing respectively, your verb should be in the negative format. Even if it is in the present future tense or past tense, it should be in the negative style. Okay, or the negative format. It should be a past negative or present future negative. Okay, so kung gagamit kayo ng dokomo, daremo, and nanimo. Okay, so let's have example sentences for this. Let's say dokomo. Dokomo ikimasen. Ikimasen. Right, so nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Since ikimasen is to not go, parang ganun, to not go. But meron tayong dokomo, that's why it's nowhere to go. So I have nowhere to go, parang ganon. And then for the daremo, it's nobody, right? Daremo oshemasen. Daremo oshemasen deshita. Okay? It means no one, I told no one, or parang I didn't tell anyone. Okay? Parang ganon siya. Nobody or anyone. I didn't tell, since oshemasen deshita is past negative. Okay? So I did not tell anyone. Okay? So, dare mo oshimasen deshita in English is, I did not tell anyone or I didn't tell anyone. Okay? Or I did not tell nobody. Parang, kung gagamit kasi tayo ng nobody, it's like parang it's a wrong grammar. Okay? I guess. So, I did not tell anyone. Anyone is nobody and nobody is, I think, almost the same. Okay? Right? And then, for the nani mo, okay? Nani mo something, something. Nani mo kaimasen. Okay? So, as you notice, lahat ng verb ko is in negative format. Okay? So, nani mo kaimasen. I will not or nothing to buy. Okay? So if you want to say nothing to buy, you can say in Nihongo, nani mo kaimasen. Okay? Nothing to buy. Yeah, that's how you will use or that's how you use the dokomo, daremo, nani mo, and then the verb. Okay? So your verb should be in the negative format. Even if nasa past tense or present future tense siya, basta negative format ang verb. Okay? If you will use dokomo, daremo, and nani mo. Next. How about next sentence pattern is the doko ka, dare ka, nani ka, verb. Verb, and then your verb will now be in the positive. Kasi somebody na siya, somewhere. Yan. Okay? Masta. Okay, so kabaligtaran siya sa nowhere, nobody, and nothing, which means somewhere, somewhere, okay? So, why nasa positive format na siya? Because, meron kang pupuntahan, meron kang kasama, meron kang something, merong bagay talaga. Okay, so, kahit na isa man yan, pero meron talaga. That's why, you will use the affirmative format or style. So again, let's have examples for this. For the dokoka. Okay, dokoka. Dokoka ikimasu. Ashita. Let's say ashita. Ashita. Dokoka ikimasu. Okay, I will go somewhere. Tomorrow, I will go somewhere. So, parang ganun. Okay. You're not sure where you are going, but you will go somewhere tomorrow. Parang ganun siya. That's why you will use the dokoka. You're not sure where you are going tomorrow. That's why you use the dokoka. Okay, so you're basically saying na somewhere. Parang kung saan. Okay, I will go somewhere. Okay, next. For the somebody, dare ka. Dare ka. Dare ka mimashita. Dare ka mimashita. I saw somebody. So mimashita is or the present tense of mimashita is mimas, meaning to see. Okay, and then nilagyan natin ng mashita or we change the mas to mashita, it will become now in the past tense. That's why I use the so. Okay, I saw. And then dareka is somebody. Yan. Okay, so I saw somebody in Nihongo is dareka mimashita. Okay, next for the nanika. Nanika. Nanika mitsukemashita. Mitsukemashita. So, nanika mitsukemashita. I found something. Let's say, because these are simple sentences. How about I found something in the room? Okay, so, heya ni nanika mitsukemashita. I found something in the room. Okay. The ni here is the particle to indicate the place, okay, where you found the object, okay, where you found the something. Yan. Okay, so but if you want to say only I found something, nanika mitsukemashita lang, okay? But if you found something somewhere, yan. Let's say somewhere, you can also use somewhere here. Doko ka nanika mitsukemashita. Okay, so I found something somewhere. Okay, parang ganun yung thought niya. Yan, I found something somewhere. Hindi niya maalala kung saan, basta nakita niya somewhere. Yan. Okay, so that's how you use the doko ka, dareka, nanika. Okay, so it's like opposite sa doko mo, dare mo, and the nani mo. Yan, so yan yung second sentence pattern natin for the directional verbs. Okay, next sentence pattern. We have your noun is a vehicle. Okay, if your noun is a vehicle, if your noun is a vehicle, then you will use the ikimasu and kaerimasu. The particle used here is de. Okay, de here indicates what you call this, means of transportation, parang ganun. Okay, so indicates means of transportation. Okay, means of transportation or something, method in going somewhere, in coming here, parang ganun. Okay, so the particle used here is de. The particle will be after the noun, which is a vehicle. Okay, so we have example. Example, densha. Okay, densha de. Let's say watashi wa. Densha de na lang. Densha de ikimasu. Okay, so I will go by train. Yan. Okay, so but if you want to say if you want to use the first sentence pattern plus this one, you can. Okay, so say densha de gakkou e ikimasu. So I will go to school by train. Okay, so So, naging mahaba na siya. Dinagdagan, ng dinagdagan, ng dinagdagan. Okay? So, how about if you say tomorrow? Densha de gakkoe ikimasu. Densha de ashita. Ashita. Okay? Since the watashi wa is before densha de, so the time will be after the topic, so it will before the densha de. Okay, so ashita densha de gakkoe ikimasu. I will go to school tomorrow by train. Ayun, so naging mahaba na siya, di ba? Dadagdagan lang. Okay, from a simple densha de ikimasu, naging ashita densha de gakkoe ikimasu na. Okay, so from a simple sentence pattern, dadagdagan mo ng simple sentence pattern din, naging complex na siya. Okay? So, you can now create sentences, complex sentences by connecting two basic sentence patterns. Okay? So, ganyan lang siya sa Nihongo. Yan. Okay? So, wag nyo lang, just be careful on where to put the time, the subject. Of course, subject will be basta SOV. SOV. If Nihongo, nasa SOV siya. Okay? So, that's how you create sentences in by using the sentence pattern, the place ikimasu, kimasu, kaerimasu plus the vehicle de. Okay? How about other samples? Kaerimasu. Okay. Okay, so this is the sample sentence, right, for this sentence pattern. But, Sensei, how about if I say I walk? Okay? Diba? Means of transportation. It's like parang means of going somewhere din yung to walk. Okay? So, how about this? Paano ba ito ilagay? If, para siyang not exemption. Exemption na rin lang siya. Okay, so, if you, okay, if you want to use to walk, okay, so it's like to walk somewhere, and you will now use no more de, but only aruite. Okay, so aruite na, you will use the word aruite, not aruite de. Okay, so aruite lang. Let's have example. Aruite kaerimasu. Okay, so I will go home by foot. Kung gusto mo talaga yung by, merong by na means of transportation or method of going somewhere. I will go home by foot, or I will walk home. Parang ganun, okay? I will walk home. I will walk home. Okay, so it's like this example of this is this one. Aruite kaerimasu, not aruite de kaerimasu. Okay, aruite lang. Aruite kaerimasu. Okay, next sentence pattern. Finish na tayo sa So we're finished on the third sentence pattern. Let's go to the fourth sentence pattern. It means noun, to, noun, to, and then the verb. Okay? So the noun here is a person or animal. So here will mean, the to particle here will mean or will indicate means or indicates that the subject is doing something together with the person or the animal. Okay? With the person or the animal. Okay, so you can also put here subject wa, the noun, person to indicates the subject and then verb. Okay, so that's the another basic sentence pattern. So the noun here should be a person or an animal that is together, or that will mean that this noun here is doing something together with the subject. Okay, the subject is of course a noun, which can be watashi, anata, anything na noun. Okay, and then the verb here is anything na verb. Okay, so example for this basic sentence pattern is subject. You can also omit if you will use watashi wa, you can omit that. As long as your subject is watashi wa or anata wa, you can omit that. But if it's another chichi wa haha to deito shimashita. Okay, so we have our subject chichi wa, or means my father, and then our noun here is haha, which is a person. Haha is my mother, and then just add the to particle and then the verb. My verb here is deito shimashita, means to date. Okay, so how to say this in English? Father, okay, my father, of course, my father and my mother dated. Okay, parang ganon. Went to date, parang ganon. Okay, went, hindi na lang went. Dated na lang. Okay. Ayan. Deito shimashita. Okay. So, chichi wa haha to deito shimashita. My father and my mother dated. Yan. Okay, so the to here is, as I remember, I introduced also to sa inyo, meaning and, diba? And, so sinong kasama. So in using verb or in creating verb sentences, you can also use the to particle, which means who is together with the subject that doing the verb, parang ganon. Okay, so in this sentence, in this case, the sentence chichi wa haha to deito shimashita, ang kasama ni my father to went date, parang ganon, or to date, is my mother. Okay, so chichi wa haha to deito shimashita. Okay, so that's how you use the subject and then the noun plus the to particle and the verb. Okay, so another example. Let's have another example. Watashi wa tomodachi to sushi o tomodachi to wala nasa mo ng object. Gakko ikimasu. Okay, watashi wa tomodachi to gakko ikimasu. Okay, so for that translation, it will mean me and my friend will go to school. If you want to say, me and my friend will go to school together, yan, you will put here, watashi wa tomodachi to ishoni gakko e ikimasu. Okay, so ishoni is together kasi. Yan, so me and my friend will go to school together. Watashi wa tomodachi to ishoni gakko e ikimasu. Okay, so that's how you use the noun to. Okay, you can also use animals here kung gusto mong kasama yung animal mo. Let's say, watashi wa inu to sanpo shimashita. Okay, so me and my pet, me and my dog went for a walk. Yan. Okay, so you can also use animals here. Yan, so watashi wa inu to sanpo shimashita. Hi. Okay, so that's how you use this sentence pattern. Next sentence pattern. Okay, by the way, in this sentence pattern, there is a parang exemption. Okay, so exemption here is if you want to do something alone, parang ganon. If you want, because there are certain times, right, na gusto mong gawin na isang bagay mag-isa. Okay, if you want to do something alone, no more to, but only hitori de. Okay, hitori de. We will use hitori de. If you want to do something alone, no more to, but only hitori de. Okay, so example for this is hitori de tabemasu. So hitori de tabemasu is I will eat alone. Okay, so compare the sentence with kazoku to tabemasu. Hitori de tabemasu and kazoku to tabemasu is I will eat with family. So it's that's the difference. No more to pag alone, but you will use hitori de. But if you want to do something together, if you want to do something with someone, okay, so you will use the to. Okay, so that's the difference. Okay, let's go to the another or next sentence pattern. Next sentence pattern is using the directional verbs ikimas, kimas, kaerimas, and then you have the reason why you will go there, why you will come here, why you will go home. It's like parang ganon. Okay? So the sentence pattern for that is just get the root word of the verb, of the reason, okay, why you will go there, and then ni root word, I will put na lang here, root word of the verb, root word of the verb, root word of the verb, the reason, okay, for the reason, root word of the verb for your reason, and then add the ni particle, and then diretso sa kimas kung to go, and then if it is to come, kimas, if it is to go home, that is kaerimas. Okay, so that's the next basic sentence pattern, the root of the verb, and then ni particle, and then ikimas, kimas, and then kaerimas. Okay, so if you will translate this in English, it will mean ano ba ito? Go, come, go home, to reason. Ayan, parang reason, to verb as your reason. Okay? Let's say, ano ba yun sa English? Going home, I will go home to eat. Okay, so your reason in going home is to eat. Okay, so this sentence pattern will be used for that sentence. Okay, so let's say, I will go to watch movie. Yeah, so it's your reason in going is to watch movie. So again, this sentence pattern is will be used for that sentence. Okay, so we'll have examples. Let's say, root of the verb. Okay, nomi. Okay, from the verb nomimas, I will let's say English na lang muna. And I will go to drink wine. That's my sentence. Okay, so your reason in going is to drink wine. Okay, so your drink here is your root word or the verb for your reason. Okay, so the verb or the Nihongo for to drink is nomimas, right? Okay, so the root word of the verb nomimas is nomi. Okay, so nomi, and then add the ni particle, and then to go kasi ikimas. Yeah. Okay, so meron tayong wine. Wine is your direct object for your verb nomimas. So we will use the particle o. Okay, so that is wine o. Wine o nomini ikimas. Okay, so wine o nomini ikimas will mean I will go to drink wine. Okay, so if you want to say meron kang place, I will go to somewhere, I will go to Next. I will go to Japan to work. Okay, so your reason in going to Japan is to work. So you will use this sentence pattern. Now we will translate this. Okay, so meron tayong place. We'll go to Japan. So, Nihon e ikimasu. Okay, and then your reason to work. So it will be before Nihon e ikimasu. So to work is hatarakimasu, yung verb nung to work, right? Hatarakimasu. Okay, so the root word for the verb hatarakimasu is hataraki. Okay, so hataraki, and then just add the ni particle, and then Nihon e ikimasu. So for the English sentence, I will go to Japan to work. In Nihongo, that is hataraki ni Nihon e ikimasu. Okay? Or if you want to say, I came to Japan. I came to Japan to work. Yeah. Okay? So again, the same, but you will use lang kimasu. Okay? So since came is past tense, we will replace the mas to mashita. Okay, so instead na kimas, that is kimashita. Okay, so Nihon e kimashita. And then to work, the reason. So again, hatarakimasu yung verb. The root word for that is hataraki. And just add the particle ni. Hataraki ni Nihon e kimashita. I came to Japan to work. Okay? So, that's how you create sentences using directional verbs with a reason why you go, you come, you go home. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so let's say, meron na tayong kimasu. How about kairimasu? I went home. I went home to I forgot something. That's why nakasayin. So I went home to, let's say, what's your reason in why you went home? To sleep, let's say to sleep. Of course, okay? To sleep. Okay, so I went home to sleep. Went home is kairimashita. Since it's in the past tense. Kairimashita. And then, okay, so in using kairimasu or kairimashita, it will mean go home or went home na kaseyo. So, you may omit the uchi e, okay, so the place, since kairimashita will mean went home. So, no more place. So, to sleep, that is nemasu. Okay, so nemasu. So, the root word for the verb nemasu is ne. Okay, so ne, and then add ni, particle ni. So the reason why you went home is to sleep, right? So to make a Nihongo sentence for that, I went home to sleep, that is ne ni kairimashita. Okay, so tabe ni kairimashita, that is I went home to eat. Okay, so that's the sample sentences for this sentence pattern. Okay, so how about let's pause for No, let's take a break for sentence patterns and then let's go to some Q&A, okay, using the directional verbs, okay. So of course, since in question and answer portion, for this you may use the itsu, okay. So in using itsu, Nihon e ikimasu ka? Okay, so itsu, that is when. And then Nihon e, that is to Japan. And then ikimasu is to go. So when will you go to Japan? Okay, so that is itsu Nihon e ikimasu ka? When will you go to Japan? Then if you have a specific time for going to Japan, you may answer that, or let's say if you want to say May, March 23, yeah, on March 23, yeah, so your answer is March 23 or on March 23. On March 23. So that is March is 3月. And then 23日です。Okay, 3月23日です。Or, yeah, okay. So on March 23, 3月23日です。And if you want to say, you can also answer ashita. Okay, so that is tomorrow. You can also answer raigetsu or raimen. Say raimen. So that is next month. Then next month or next year. Yeah. Okay, so that's how you answer. Itsu, when will you go to Japan? Yeah. You can also ask, Itsu uchi e kimasu ka? So, when will Itsu koko ni or koko e kimasu ka? Okay, so Itsu koko e kimasu ka? When will you come? Okay, so that is, you can answer it by atode. Okay, atode or ashita. Okay, ano yung gusto niyo isagot? Can be later or later and tomorrow. Okay, so depende na lang yung sa sagot niya. So that's how you ask and then answer for directional verbs. Okay, so that is itsu. Pwede rin, you can ask by using how will you get here, or in what means will you get here. Okay, so you will ask nani de kimasu ka? Okay, so that de, why de particle ang gamit ko? Kasi means of transportation. So what means of transportation, or what means incoming? Okay, parang ganun. What is your mean? What is your means in going here, in coming here? Parang ganun. Okay. Nani de kimasu ka? Okay, so what or how will you go here? How will you go here? How will you come pala? Kimasu kasi. How will you come here? So, since meron tayong come here, nani de koko e kimasu ka? How will you come here? Then, if you will answer, aruite. Aruite kimasu. Aruite kimasu. By foot. I will come by foot. I will come there by foot. Or I will walk. Parang ganun. Okay, aruite soko e kimasu. Yan. Okay, or if you want to answer also, kuruma de kimasu. I will come by car. Okay, so maraming pwedeng sagot. And the question is mga parang ganon. Okay, so that's how you question or ask and then answer those questions. Okay, so that's all for our question and answer. And then let's go to the last. Okay, so we have the expression yo. Okay, so yo, last time I've introduced the ne expression. Okay, the expression ne, the whole sentence and then the ne. So it's on the last part of the sentence. Now again, the same as ne, the expression yo is also at the last part of the sentence. Okay, so it's like basically the sentence and then just add the yo expression. Okay, so in using yo, the expression yo, it will mean use to emphasize. Okay, use to emphasize information which the listener does not know. Or to show that you are giving, okay, that you are giving your judgment or your comments, views, certainly, okay, to the listener. Okay, so that's how you will use the expression yo. Okay, so example sentence para mas madaling maintindihan. Okay, so let's say Murina diet. Dieto. Yeah. はい、無理なダイエットは、体に良くないですよ。Okay? So you're basically saying to the listener na excessive dieting is not good for your health. Okay? So you're giving your judgment to excessive dieting. Okay? So parang ganun. So muri na diet wa karada ni yokunai desu yo. So excessive or parang ano ba tawag na muri? Impossible diet. Yeah, muri is impossible. Paano ba yan? Or basta excessive dieting, yung parang sobra sa pagda-diet, okay? It is not good for your health na. Okay, so yun yung, that's why I use the expression yo to say to the listener na that is not very good to your health, you know, parang ganun yung parang sa English. Okay, so excessive dieting is not good for your health, you know, parang ganun. Okay, so it's like the expression you know in Americans. Okay, so the yo expression, parang ganun siya. So excessive dieting, tama ba spelling ko? Excessive dieting is bad for your health, you know. Okay, so kung sa Americans, it's like the expression, you know, excessive dieting is bad for your health, you know. Okay, so it's like that. So ano pa? Aso kuwa. Aso kuwa. Abunai desu yo. Abunai desu yo. Okay. So excessive dieting is huwag muna tayo dito ha. Dito muna tayo. Okay. Excessive dieting is muri na dieto. So that is your topic. Okay. And then karada is body. Okay. So in this case, health lang ang gamit ko. But, or you can say body also. So it's bad for your body, bad for your health. Karada ni health is kasi in futsu, in normal or in casual conversation, health is karada pa rin, okay, or body. But in the medical term, that is health. I forgot. Health is not YouTube. Well, anyway, okay, I forgot yung health. Health is taicho pala. Yeah, I remember now. Okay, so taicho ni yokunai desu yo. You can also say here taicho ni yokunai desu yo. Yeah. Okay, so this one is for the normal conversations, casual conversations, and then this one is the medical term. Okay, so for the health, taicho. And then asoko wa, okay, let's go to another example. Asoko wa abunai desu yo. Okay, abunai is dangerous, and then asoko is there. Okay, so I am telling the listener that it is dangerous there, you know, so don't go, parang ganon. Asoko wa abunai desu yo. Ikanai de kudasai. Kanaide kudasai. So it will mean it's dangerous there, you know. It's dangerous there. It's dangerous there. Don't go, please. Do not go there. Or do not go. Please do not go lang pala. Please do not go. Please do not go. Okay, so asoko is there. Okay. Then abunai is an adjective for dangerous. Okay. Then ikanai de kudasai is the nai form of the verb to go. Okay. Ikanai. Okay. So as you can remember doon sa mga nai form natin. Okay. So since it is a negative and then te form. Okay. So para siyang sinabay yung nai form tsaka te form. Okay? So, ikanai de kudasai. Please do not go. Okay? So, that's how you will use the expression yo. Okay? So, asoko wa abunai desu yo. Ikanai de kudasai. So, you're giving or you're saying to the listener that it's dangerous there. Please do not go. Okay? So, hindi alam ni listener na abunay doon. That's why you are saying to him or her that it is dangerous there. Okay? So that's how you will use the expression yo. Okay, so now I guess that's all for this lesson. Okay, so let's continue the lesson. sa next video. Okay, so that's all for now. Okay, so let's meet in the next video. Okay, ay, mata ne. Bye-bye. はい、ではどうでしたか？はい、わかりましたか？大丈夫でしょうか？ OK。質問はどう？ありますか？ありませんか？はい。はい、ありませんから、また続きます。Okay? Let's continue to another video. Medyo okay pa. Okay, let's go. Konnichiwa. Okay, so let's continue the lesson in this video, still about verb sentences. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so the next lesson will be about how to create sentences using transitive verbs. Okay, transitive verbs like the tabemas, nomimas. Okay, so a transitive verb is like verbs that has direct object. Okay, direct object when the action is done. Okay, or when you are doing the action, there is a direct object. Okay, so that are transitive verbs. Okay, so the sentence pattern for that is the noun, and then the o particle. Okay, the noun here is your direct object. Okay, so what is the object being, for example, tabemas, to eat. What is the object to be eaten? Okay, for nomimas, for the verb nomimas, meaning to drink. What is the object to be drink? Okay, or to be drunk. Mga ganon. Ito, direct object. Okay, so the noun here is a direct object. And then o, ito, transitive verb. Okay. Transitive verbs in Nihongo is tadoshi. Okay, tadoshi. Oh yeah, tadoshi only. Okay, transitive verbs. Or we'll put this as tadoshi. Okay, so that is the Nihongo for transitive verbs, tadoshi. Okay, so for the particle o here is pronounced as o. Okay, not wo, but o. And then the o here indicates the direct object of a transitive verb. Okay. Right, let's have some examples. Okay, so let's have a verb for to eat. Okay, that is tabemas. Tabemas. Meaning eat. Okay, so to use that in a sentence, what is your direct object for the verb tabemas? Let's say sushi. Okay, so sushi o tabemas. Okay, meaning yan, I will eat sushi. Since it's a present or future affirmative. Okay? Let's say, sushi o tabemashita. So, I ate sushi. Okay? So, not negative. Past affirmative. Okay? Sushi o tabemasen. Okay? I will not eat sushi. Okay? Present, future, negative tense. Okay? Then sushi o tabemasen deshita. I did not eat sushi. Okay? So, yan yung apat na tenses you can use. Okay, so that is the example of a transitive verb that has direct object. Okay, so the particle after the direct object should be o. Okay. Hi, another. Let's say shimemasu. Shimemasu is to close something. Okay, so close. Okay. Let's say shimemasu. Okay. Doa. Okay. Doa o shimemasu. Will close the door. Okay? Ano pa ba? Transitive verbs. O, mayroon o. Ukemasu. Meaning ng ukemasu is to, ano ba yan? Parang you will join something, okay? Let's say, for example, an exam. You will take an exam, okay? Parang ganun yung ukemasu. I can't say, paano ba yan, ha? To take or to get. Yan, parang ganun, okay? To take an exam. To take or to get is a transitive verb. Okay, so let's say exam, shiken o mashita. I took the exam or an exam. Yeah, okay, I took an exam. Then if you want to add, when did you take the exam? You can put here. Ukemashita. I took an exam yesterday. Okay. And then you can also put here the to. Sino yung kasama mo? Okay, so tomodachi to. Tomodachi to shiken o ukemashita. I took an exam with my friend yesterday. Okay, so you can now have, with this basic sentence pattern, you can now have a more complex na sentence. Okay, by remembering or by connecting basic sentence patterns. Okay, so that's how you create sentences in using transitive verbs. Okay. Hi. Next, let's have the difference of nani and nan. Okay? So, the same. What ang ibig sabihin, right? Okay, so in the cases kung kailan mo gagamitin si nan is, paano ba ito isulat? Nan is used in the following cases natin. Okay, in the following cases. Okay, number 1. Nan will be used if or when it precedes nauna siya sa isang word kung ang mora whose first mora, okay, the mora here is just like the syllable, okay, mora is either in the in the or na row. Rows. Okay, so under the T column, the D column, and the N column, if ang una nun is a na, is a what, okay? So, ang gagamitin na what is nan, not nani. Okay, so examples here are nande, okay? Nande. Nanandes ka pala. Nandes ka, okay? So, what is it? Nano. The nano, whose, not whose. What kind, okay? What kind of? Ano pa? Nanto. Nanto. Parang sinasabi yung nanto is, ano yung sinasabi? Kadalasan ginagamit yung nanto is, nanto iimas ka. Parang how to say it or what did he or she say. Parang ganun yung nanto. Nanto iimas ka? Ano yung sabi niya? Parang ganun. Okay? Right, so, if the first mora is in the ta column, the T column, or the D column, or the N column, then the what na gagamitin is nan. Okay? Hi. For the next case, kung when gagamitin si nan. Okay, so when it is followed by a counter suffix. Okay, so if you want to ask how old are you, what floor is it, how many animals, how many persons, how many small objects, mga ganon. Okay, so ang gagamitin doon is sinan. So examples here ay nansay. Okay, so suffix sai, let's say suffix yobi, nan, yobi, sinangkay, okay, and etc. Okay, so basta suffix, counter suffixes gagamitin si nan. Then si nani naman is gagamitin in all other cases except those two cases na si nan ang gagamitin. Nani is used in all other cases. Okay, so let's say example is naniyo. Okay, naniyo tabemasu ka? So meaning yan, what did you eat? 何を食べますか? What will you eat? Okay? What will you eat? So, your answer should be the direct object, kung ano yung kakainin mo. So, that's why nani ang ginamit. And then the first mora is o kasi, okay, so wala siya doon sa first case, sa second case. So, that's why nani ang gagamitin, not nan-o. Okay? Ano pa? Yung sinani ka. Okay? Sinani ka. Nanika. Okay, so nanika is something. Okay, so nanika kaimasu. Okay, I will buy something. Yeah, I don't know what will I buy, but I will buy something. Okay, so that's the use for nani. Okay, now what? Okay. Next, let's have another sentence pattern. Okay, the noun. The verb. Okay. I guess I've introduced this in the last video, but in this case, the noun should be a place. Okay. Place. Sa last video, I guess it's a means of transport ang noun doon. Okay, so it's a vehicle. In this case, the noun here should be a place. Okay, and this will mean that the de here indicates the place, okay, since the noun is a place, okay, where the action is being taken, or indicates the place where the action occurs. Okay, so that's the de particle, or the role of the de particle there. If the noun is a place, okay, it's not a vehicle. So this will mean that verb, or I will do, or I will verb. Okay, so kung sa English siya, it will mean I or subject. Verb, I will verb in place. Okay, so verb in noun, which is a place. Okay, so I will do the verb, I will do the action in the place, in the noun, which is a place. Okay, so it's like parang gano'n. Pag merong subject ka, you can also use, okay, subject wa, subject wa, and place de, and then the verb. Okay, or this will become subject, subject will verb in place. Okay, so the subject will do the verb in this place, parang ganon. Let's have some samples. Okay, example, let's have what is our verb. Kaimas. Okay, buy. What will you buy? Para merong object. Okay, and then where will you buy? Hi. Okay, so let's say I will buy a newspaper in the train station. Okay, so that's my sentence. So we have a subject which can be omitted when translating it in Nihongo. And then our verb is will buy. And then our direct object is newspaper. Okay, what will you buy? Newspaper. That's your direct object. And then where will you buy? Okay, in the train station. Now, we will use this sentence pattern, okay, to translate this English sentence. Now, subject wa. Okay, the subject is watashi wa. Okay, I will, or I am. Watashi wa. And then your place in the train station. Okay, place in the train station. Nihongo for that is ekide. Okay, ekide. And then Next is your direct object. Okay, direct object and then o. Okay, so newspaper in Nihongo is shimbun. Okay, shimbun oはい買います。Okay, buy 買います。So, the Nihongo for I will buy a newspaper in the train station is 私は駅で新聞を買います。Okay? So, that's how you create sentences like this sentence. Okay? Right. Some more examples. Let's have ano pa ba? Ito na may place. My subject. My mother will ride a bus. No. Ride a bus is not o pala. Ni. Okay. Well, what's the subject na may o? Okay. Will eat or ate na lang. Para at least merong past tense. Okay, my mother ate dessert in her friend's house yesterday. Okay, not sweet na lang, not dessert, ano na lang, dinner. My mother ate dinner in her friend's house yesterday. Okay, so our subject is the mother. So, my mother in Nihongo is haha. Not okasan. Okay, haha wa. Say here, haha wa. The next subject wa, and then place. Okay, where did she eat? So, friend's house daw. So, haha wa tomodachi no uchi de, okay, friend's house. Okay, if you can remember, if there is a apostrophe s, that will be no particle ang i-connect. Okay, for the noun friend and then the noun house. Okay, tomodachi no uchi de. Okay, so what did she eat? This yugohan. Okay, yugohan. Dinner is supper or dinner or supper is yugohan or yuhan. Okay, yugohan o ay ate sa past tense. So, tabemashita. So, for the sentence, my mother ate dinner in her friend's house yesterday in Nihongo is haha wa tomodachi no uchi de yugohan o tabemashita. Okay, so that's how you create sentences like this one. Okay, next sentence pattern. The expression, verb, and then masenka. Okay, so this one is an expression used by someone who wants, or if someone wants to invite someone to do something. Okay, so parang ganon. How to say this? When you want to invite someone to do something, you will use this expression. Okay, so the V here is a verb, should be a verb, and then instead na mas ang gagamitin, you will use the masenka. So it will mean na you want to invite someone to do this action or to do something. Okay, so let's have an example. Example is what verb? Okay, eat, or let's say nomimas. Okay, so I will use the verb nomimas, which is to drink. What will you drink? Beer. Beer. Okay. Beer wo nomimasen ka? Okay, so this will mean won't you drink? Won't you drink? Won't you drink? Won't you drink beer? It's like that, parang ganon. Or would you like to drink beer? Okay? Or would you drink beer? Parang ganon. You're inviting him or her to drink this one. Okay? So, if you will use this one, it's like your, what do you call this? You show some consideration to that someone or to that listeners will to drink that one, or if he or she don't want it, parang ganon. So you take the consideration of his willingness, parang ganon. So you should, when inviting someone, it's better to use this masenka. Okay, so para at least ano ba tawag dyan, malaman or ma-feel ni listener na you are considering his or her willingness na gawin ng isang bagay. Okay? So, that's parang ganon. Paano pa ba? Watashi to. Tsuki-ai Okay, so that's one. Watashi to tsuki-aimasen ka? Okay, that is, would you be, or would you be my, would you, ano ba yan? Paano ba yan i-translate sa English? Expression kasi ito siya, watashi to tsuki-aimasen ka. It's like you're asking someone to be his girl or to be his boyfriend, parang ganun. Okay? Would you be my girlfriend or boyfriend? Okay? Ganon. So, it's answerable by a yes or a no. So at least you consider his or her feelings to be his girlfriend, to be his boyfriend. Okay? So that's how you use the masenka. Okay? The counterpart for this is the verb masho. Okay? So the verb then the additional then you append it with masho, it will mean na parang sa English it's let's. Okay, let's do something. Okay, let's do something, or let's do this thing. Parang ganon. Let's do this action. Parang ganon. Let's do this action. Okay, so it's like yun ang ibig sabihin niya. Another one is it when you will use this verb masho when the speaker is positively inviting the listener to do something with the speaker, of course. So, dalawa kayo. Okay? Because it's let's. So, dalawa talaga kayo. And then, this one is also used when responding positively when respond positively to an invitation. Okay, so it's like saying, let's eat, let's drink. Okay, so you will say, nomimasho, tabemasho. Okay, so para ka talagang positive ka na sasabayan kanyang kumain, uminom. Okay, so that's the usage of the verb masho. Examples. Masho. Masho. Let's go. Masho. Let's eat. Yan. Okay, so those are samples for verb and then append the expression masho. Okay, meaning yan, let's do this action together. Okay, so then parang you can't, ano ba tawag dyan? You can't, hindi ka na makakatanggi. Okay, so talagang gagawin yung dalawa yon. Pag sinabi mong mash o ano ba tawag dyan? Pag you will use the verb masho. Okay, so sabi ko nga kanina, it's better when inviting someone, okay, use the verb masenka rather than the verb masho because it shows that the speaker is more considerate, okay, to the listener's willingness. That's why during an invitation, it's better to use the verb masenka. Okay? So it will depend on the situation naman. Then also, it is also used when responding positively to an invitation. For example, if you will invite this person to eat somewhere, okay? So sabihan mo siya na doko ka, tabemasen ka? Okay, so you're inviting him or her, then you don't know if he or she will respond positively to that. So if that someone will say yes or parang respond positively to your invitation, he or she can say, tabemasho. And then sabi niya, ikimasho. Parang ganon. So let's go, let's eat. Parang ganon. Okay, so it's parang dalawa yung usage ni masho. Ni verb masho. Okay? So that is for the verb masenka and then the verb masho. That's how you use that. Okay, next. For the verbs, agemas, partnered with muraimas, and then ano pa ba to? Sikashimas, and then sikarimas, and then tatlo to si osiemas, andはい、皆さん、もうすぐ時間ですから、動画を止めました。Okay, so it's 6時4分前ですから、okay, so I pause the video and let's continue that next week. tama po? Next week. Okay, so 今日の授業は終わりました。はい、ありがとうございました。お疲れ様でした。はい、また来週です。はい、バイバイ。はい、ありがとうございます。